Hello, welcome. I am Devil Sniper and this is episode number 7 for my career mode with Newcastle United on FIFA 12. So I'm having a nice quiet cup of tea when Cisse comes and pays me a little visit, and it's in regards to basically the provisional team I always put up, you know, a few days ahead for the lads to see, and he spotted that he's on the bench. Basically, as I said to him, you know, I feel he's run himself into the ground, he's run himself ragged, and he deserves, you know, a week off. He's on the bench, so he might get a few minutes, but I'm not going to overplay players, you know. I don't want to overplay them. I don't want to risk injuries. And, yeah, so he's going to have to suck it, basically. It's one of those things. So, we go down to Carrow Road, early December. And as normal, it's cold, it's windy, and it's bloody well raining. Not the greatest trips for us, but, you know, it's a long journey down to Carrow Road. But as normal, in the Newcastle fashion, we start off very sprightly. We're all over Norwich. Cahill has a fantastic opportunity. The keeper gets a hand to it. And we were unlucky not to score. Then Dan Gosling, he's been playing quite well. He makes an absolute catastrophic error. Who was he passing to? Nobody knows. Thankfully, the post comes to our rescue. And Colaccini cleans up. And we kept pushing forward. We kept applying the pressure as we normally do. You know, we were going for the jugular. We wanted to nick that early goal. We wanted to get just any goal, to be quite frank. But again, you know, they defended better than us. Their keeper was on the ball, and they just kept shutting us down. And then, in typical Newcastle fashion, a sloppy challenge allows them inside, and we're punished. Really, really disappointed with how sloppy we were there. Really, really not happy with that. You know, it's something that we've been working on in training, but we just can't seem to get right. You know, Colaccini and Simpson have been absolute legends for us all season, and that's the disappointment. And we push down the right-hand side, and that, for me, should be 1-1. You know, there is no arguments, there is no discussion. He should be nailing those week in, week bloody out. That's a give-me goal, and it's a real disappointment. And then, speaking of give-me goals, Ben Arthur breaks through, and the keeper gets a hand to it, and it's just one of those nights. The game is not going our way, and in typical Newcastle fashion, we miss an opportunity. They damn well don't, and they punish us. Holt punishes us. It was that was a heartbreaker, you know. I'd asked the boys to push forward, you know, push harder, and we got caught in a counter, and we were punished. So you know, you put your pound in for the lottery. We're still going to push forward. And again, you know, some sloppy defending here. Absolutely disgrace. And they scored a third. Not really chuffed. Some of the blame's got to come on my shoulders. I fully accept that. And we move into the next game, which is Swansea at St James's Park. And I made some team changes. Santos is having a rest. I'm bringing in Taylor. Amiobi disappointed me, so I'm bringing back Cisse after his rest. And Dan Gosling just didn't look like he wanted to know, so I've swapped him up with the main boy Kabai, who's been playing well all season. And speaking of all season, Demba Ba makes up for that missed header in my eyes. That is a cracking finish early doors against Swansea. Some nice football as well, free-flowing football by the boys, and we punish him. And speaking of free-flowing football, look at this. The space we create is fantastic. Cahill is got him done for pace all day. Slots it into Demba Ba, who decides to play a 1-2 with the post. I don't know how he put that onto the post, to be quite frank. That was ridiculous. So we're cruising, we're looking quite good. But typical Newcastle. Sloppy defending just before half-time allows them to score a consolation goal for me, because we were all over him. And then look at this. That's more. He just shrugged off Colaccini. That's ridiculous. He just produced an Akinfenwa run. He just shrugged him off as if he didn't bloody exist. So we're sitting there at 2-2, and as you can imagine, I'm absolutely going ballistic on the line. You know, sloppy defending is something that is constantly getting in our way. If we could tighten up at the back, we would have won so many more games, conceded so many fewer goals, but nonetheless, Cahill picks the ball up, spots Bar on the run. Bar takes it onto his left foot and slots it home. That was an absolute awesome goal. And interesting to note that Tim Cahill's had an approach. The New York Red Bulls have approached us. I've put a price tag of $11.5 million on him, and we're waiting to see if anything comes from that. So we're sitting pretty at 3-2, but no, Luke Moore's got other ideas. Akin Fenwa Jr. decides that it's his time to rise, and he does. In the 90th minute, in the heartbreaking minute, Moore scores and makes it 3-3, and I am utterly gutted. Utterly gutted. But lucky enough, it's not too long before we have another game, and thankfully it's at home, so we don't have to travel anywhere, and I'm looking for the boys to put it right. I'm not happy with 1 point out of a possible 6. It's really just not good. The board's on my back, Ashley's on my back, and it's not good. And we start off again, yet again. We start off like a house on fire. I just can't get over it. We start so well. Sometimes we're so lax. I mean, look at that. That defending is just so lax. But Danny Simpson, come on, my son. That is why that boy should seriously be considered for England. Week in, week out, he is putting in the performances. I'm really chuffed for him. He is a quality player. We just stick it just past the post, Cisse. Unlucky. We're playing the better football. We're dominating them. And it's just really, really guttering. I'm not quite sure what the ref was thinking here. If anyone can tell me what that free kick is for, I'll greatly receive it. But watch out for Danny Simpson. He's going to move himself onto the post like any good defender. And a diving header clearance to yet again reassure me why I put him in the team week in, week out. That boy's played his heart out for me. And is an absolute diamond player. And if Hodgson is watching this, seriously, you've got to consider him for England. He is a quality player. Look at his cross. That is a great cross in. And Cahill's unlucky. He hasn't got the height really. Didn't get no power on it. And we walk away with a 0-0 draw, which I'm really disappointed with. So there we go, guys. That's episode 7. I hope to catch you in episode 8.